a poem, as they say in Scotland. This is with partial apology to William McGonagall and total apologies to the victims of the Tay Bridge disaster of 1879. Our beautiful freedoms and sylvan ways, alas, I am very sorry to say, with our carefree lives, have been taken away on the last sunny Sunday at tea time, which will be remembered for a very long time. 'Twas news at 7 o'clock that night, as Bojo spoke with all his might, and the rain came pouring down, and the dark clouds seemed to frown, and the demon virus seemed to say, "At home with loo roll, I'll make them stay." When the packed tubes left Oxford Circus, the passengers' hearts were light and felt no sorrow, but Boris spoke a terrible tale, which made their hearts but to quail, and many of the passengers with fear did say, "I hope God will let us cure Asda another day." But when it became clear that people at home did not stay, Boris he did loud and angry bray, and shook his ministers, all of them on that day, on the Sabbath day of March 29, which will be remembered for a very long time. So Corona infected with all its might, the idea of paid holidays seemed to be in sight, and the people's hearts felt light, thinking they would enjoy themselves for part of the year with their friends at home they loved most dear, not realising that self-isolation would prove so drear. So the virus moved a little quicker each day until the curve was about midway. Then the science with a crash gave way, and too many lives were lost in a day. Piers Morgan did loudly bray because thousands of lives had been taken away. Maybe the scientific advisor thought it was fine, but testing and PPE were not there in time. As soon as the worst came to be known, an alarm on Zoom and Twitter like a trumpet was blown, and people walked 2 yards apart all over town. Good heavens though, the infection seemed to be slowing down. The figures though still sadden folk and fill the people's hearts with sorrow. Our wonderful NHS worked hard and without fail to stop a crisis becoming a disaster by working all the time, which will be remembered for a very long time. Coronavirus is an awful sight, viewed in the microscope's silvery light, while the horses of the apocalypse do bray, and COVID, locusts, bushfires and AK-47s have their say. Oh, ill-fated capitalism, has it had its day? I must now conclude my lay by telling the world fearlessly and without the least dismay, your systems would not have given way, at least many sensible doctors do say, had they been supported on all sides with planning and more funding for NHS materials and manning. For the stronger our NHS we build, the less chance we have of being killed.